Okay, so now that we got things aligned in our wrists, in our hand, to really stab properly with our sword, so we'll now move down through here. So as far as alignments, all right, we're going to use the elbow down. All right. So the elbow down, not only are we putting a force into an object, but that object's going to have a negative force on our body, right? So as I mentioned before, when we project with the elbow instead of with the hand, there's the straightening of the arm, or there's the natural remained half bent, partially bent arm. All right. So this, if we go straight through, the negative force is going to go straight through the arm, right? It's going to go through the path that we create for, right? So that has nothing supporting it. So there's nothing supporting that. You push and you fall back, right? So if this was coming at me, if it was a larger person, they weigh more, and I go to punch, then it just, you come back. Now, if I have my elbow bent down and I'm directing my force through, that energy is going to start going in this direction, which then goes into my body, right? So elbow into the hip, hip into the knee, knee into the heel, all right? So we're then pushing through the ground, all right? So this position is very important when trying to deliver as much power as possible and catching the power that's then, or weight that's coming back onto you, right? So we really want to make sure this is there. So when we're going to practice, we're going to start practicing in a chain punching type way, right? This will eventually carry on that we can do all the boxing punches and everything like that, but we'll just start with this chain punching. So the chain punching, we can go into a little bit more detail later, but just so you can get a start to understand the swords and how they work and how they train, and we'll carry through all the way down to the hips, and that'll be our center point, so they understand the punch, the mechanics and principles that exist up here, and then we'll create the videos that will show you our footwork, and then it'll all come together and make it even more powerful. All right. So the chain punching, as done before, you want to point and you pull down and you go forward. And this whole time you are focusing again on the elbows, making sure that the knuckles are hitting, not this ball called the fist, but the knuckles. That you're projecting this knuckle to make this alignment, to allow for compression instead of flexion. Just really practice through that. All right. So the movement the hand is doing, so the elbow pushes it out. It comes down to make room for the other one, comes back up. And we're always also focusing on making sure that backhand always comes back up to protect. All right. Everything you do should be based on any time there's a hand out, there's the other hand back ready to protect, or I like to look at it as I'm reloading my gun, right? So a punch that is out is a shot fired. This is now a new bullet in the chamber, ready to fire, right? And I'm not hitting like thinking hand, I'm letting this come down as the elbow pushes out. So the elbow pushes out, all right? So you'll also feel the difference. It'll feel more solid, more supported, all right? And you also see here with this shape or this position, there's the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder. You create lines, you got a triangle. So we really want to focus, right? Just let those knuckles, make sure everything's aligned. Just keep pushing through the elbows, keep reloading your weapon, and just keep going, right? Don't focus on anything else in your body. Maybe you can stand straight, have good posture. That's important. But other than that, really focus on the swords. Elbow to the delivery at the end of your knuckles. All right, just keep moving through. Okay, so when we look at the chain punching from the front, in Wing Chun, we do a lot of focusing and understanding and being aware of our center line. All right, because a lot of the targets in the body are in the center line. You got the face, nose, throat, solar plexus, the abdomen, the groin. So we want to really be aware of the center line so that we can protect it and also so that we can attack it. All right. So when we do our chain punching, we're keeping our hands within that center line. And just that's the reason for the pull down to make way, right? So we don't want to be punching like this. That is the entryway into our center line, so we want to protect that. And we'll understand how to work with that as far as angles and stuff that we create with our footwork, right? So just try to keep things in here. And also when you see from the front here, maybe it looks weak to you because we're only focusing on the arms. Add everything else in later, you'll understand. All right, but you can see that I'm not doing this. If I do that, there is nothing supporting this. So I bring my elbow in, and now my body is behind it. So supported by my body, which then goes into the ground. Power comes from ground, boom, comes back up. So the next video, we're gonna, after working on knuckle, projection, alignment, compression over flexion, make sure that we're hitting with the knuckle, with this proper alignment, create our flexion back here, and added compression so that when we make that smash, this is holding up. We're not hitting with our fingers. And just to add, which I may have forgotten, when we close our fingers, right, we don't want to gnarl them, right? So if we clench, we're going to create this, right? We do not want to create that. We want to squeeze with these, relax with these, right? So when you do that, this remains more flat, right? So this is our striking surface, again, focusing on these two knuckles, which is the center of the hand, all right? Okay, and then the thumb, you bring that down and you bring it in, all right? So the squeeze is here, don't go crazy on it. Relax these, but keep them in. You're protecting your fingers from getting caught, getting broken, and especially want to protect that thumb because it has many moving parts and it will never ever heal correctly. So protect it, right? In the fist, you close the fingers and the thumb to protect them, not to hit with them. You are hitting with this aligned, structured bone compression alignment, all right? So through the elbow, and then we're going to move to the next joint in the next part of this video, which is our shoulder.